Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about 10 things you should never do on your cruise's embarkation day. Let's get going. Tip number 1. Don't fly in on the same day your cruise leaves. One big mistake people make is booking their flight for the same day their cruise ship sets sail. This is risky because flights can get delayed or canceled, and if that happens, you might miss the ship. Remember, the ship won't wait for late passengers. By flying in the day before, you can avoid all that stress. Instead, you'll get to sleep in, enjoy a calm morning, and head to the cruise terminal without rushing. Plus, if you fly in early, you can start your vacation relaxed and excited, not worried about missing the boat. Tip number 2. Don't forget about your cabin steward. Make sure you meet them when you get on board. Your cabin steward is the person who will be taking care of your room throughout the cruise. They're the ones who make your bed, refresh your towels, and keep your cabin neat and clean. On the first day, it's a good idea to introduce yourself and say hello. Building a friendly connection with them can make your stay even better because they'll know how to make you more comfortable. Plus, if you have any special requests like needing extra pillows or specific bed arrangements, they'll be happy to help. Getting to know your steward makes your cruise feel more personal and welcoming. Tip number 3. Don't arrive too early or late. When you check in for a cruise, you get an arrival time for boarding. It might seem smart to show up earlier to start your trip faster, but cruise lines are strict about these times. If you arrive too early, you might have to wait outside. Arriving on time is best because it means a smoother boarding experience and less waiting around. Plus, if you arrive right when scheduled, you'll be able to start enjoying the ship without long lines or big crowds. So stick to your assigned time and you'll be on board and ready for fun in no time. Tip number 4. Don't drink too much on day 1. It's normal to want to celebrate on the first day of your cruise, especially if you have a drink package. But remember, it's important to pace yourself. Drinking too much alcohol right away can lead to a hangover, dehydration, or even just feeling tired and sick. And no one wants to start their vacation that way. To avoid this, drink water between cocktails and know your limits. This way, you'll feel great and ready to enjoy all the fun things on board without feeling sick or missing out on the excitement. Tip number 5. Don't forget your carry-on bag for important stuff. When you arrive at the cruise terminal, there are porters to help with your big suitcases. They'll take your luggage and deliver it to your cabin, but this can take a few hours. That's why you need a small carry-on bag with anything you might need right away, like your passport, medication, phone charger, or even a swimsuit if you want to hit the pool early. Having these items in a carry-on means you don't have to wait for your luggage to show up to start enjoying your trip. Just think ahead about what you might need until your suitcase arrives, and pack that in a bag you can keep with you. Tip number 6. Don't try to sneak prohibited items on board. Packing for a cruise is different from packing for a regular trip. Cruise ships have strict rules about what you can and can't bring on board. For example, things like alcohol, candles, and certain electronics are usually not allowed. If you try to sneak these items in your luggage, you could end up delaying your boarding because security will pull aside any bags with restricted items. To avoid holdups, check the cruise line's list of prohibited items before you pack. This way, you'll have a smoother check-in and can start your vacation without any issues. Tip number 7. Don't skip the muster drill. The muster drill is a safety check that every passenger has to complete before the cruise sets sail. It's super important because it teaches you what to do in an emergency, like where to go and who to listen to if there's a problem. These days, many ships make it easier by letting you watch a quick safety video and then checking in at your assigned meeting spot. It's tempting to skip this since you're excited to start having fun, but the crew won't let the ship leave until everyone has done it. Plus, it only takes a few minutes, and then you can relax and enjoy the rest of your day worry-free. Tip number 8. Don't forget to turn off cellular data before you sail. Before the ship leaves port, make sure you turn off your cellular data or switch your phone to airplane mode. If you don't, you could end up with a huge roaming bill because cruise ships use satellite networks that charge a lot for data. Even if you're not using your phone, apps running in the background could still use data and rack up charges. To avoid a surprise bill, just switch to airplane mode, which turns off all data, calls, and texts. Then you can relax and enjoy your trip without worrying about extra costs. Tip number 9. Don't go straight to your cabin. When you first board the cruise, your cabin might not be ready right away. Rooms usually open in the afternoon, so if you board early, plan to explore the ship first. You can check out the dining areas, grab a snack, or see what activities are available. If you're carrying a lot, like a heavy bag or some drinks, try to schedule a later boarding time so you're not stuck holding everything. But if you do get on early, enjoy your first few hours on board by getting to know the ship. That way, you'll be ready to dive right into the fun once your room opens up. Tip number 10. Don't miss the sailaway party. The sailaway party is a big, fun event that kicks off your cruise. It's when the ship starts leaving the port and everyone gathers to celebrate the start of the trip. There's usually music, dancing, and sometimes games or drinks. It's a great way to meet other passengers and really get into vacation mode. To make the most of it, try to get there a little early if you want a good spot, especially if you're planning to grab a drink and enjoy the view. Even if you're not into big crowds, watching the ship pull away and head into the open sea is something you won't want to miss. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and check out this video next for more travel tips.